The NFL trade deadline is come and gone. Skip's Cowboys, just not able to get the deal done for wide receiver Brandon Cooks. His $18 million guaranteed for 2023, plus draft pick compensation, reportedly just too much for Dallas to make the move. But guys, reports are the talks for the deal went, quote, into the final minutes. Shannon, you first. Should Jerry Jones have closed this deal?
Yeah, I thought Jerry should have closed the deal, but I knew he wasn't. Jerry just liked to hear himself talk. I know Jerry wasn't going to close no deal. Oh, we got something going. We forgot a few things. Mildewing. He didn't use mildewing in the context that normally mildew. That means you're doing absolutely nothing, Skip. Things are stagnant and mold is starting to grow. So he didn't use mildewing in the context that we normally hear the term mildewing in. But Skip, you knew since free agency that the trade deadline was going to happen November the 1st, 4 p.m. You knew that, Eastern time. Why in the hell you wait till the umpteenth hour to try to get, okay, how much, what's the draft compensation? So because it's not Jerry on the phone, Will McClay or whomever, you got to go up, hey, Jerry, this is what they offer. They said we can get Brandon Cooks, but we got to guarantee his contract for 2023, and they want just compensation. Jerry tell them, they go back, well, Jerry said we can do this. We can do a guaranteed contract, but instead of a fourth rounder, we can possibly do a fifth rounder, and you give us your seventh rounder. He got to go back. So you Skip, you all that time in between, as opposed to Jerry just picking up the phone, talking to whoever, Nick Casarios or whoever the GM, and say, hey, how do we get this deal done? Skip, okay, look at this. James Washington might be coming back. James Washington has 11 touchdowns in 60 games with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He averages 27 yards a game. Michael Gallup is coming off a serious knee injury. He has 135 yards with 1 touchdown. Dalton Schultz, he has 203 yards, no touchdown. Noah Brown, your second leading receiver, has 339 yards, 1 TD. The Cowboys have averaged 191 yards passing per game. Brandon Cooks, since he got into the league in 2014, has this many. 6 1,000 yards receiving seasons. Brady, Breeze, Jerry Goff, now he's in Houston, still racking up 1,000-yard receiving seasons. I don't get it. He's a bona fide deep threat. Bona fide. He could still get, I know he's small, Skip. What, 5'8", 5'9"? But somebody 5'8", 5'9", got 6 1,000 receiving seasons in 8 seasons in the NFL. I don't know who that is. Maybe that's somebody, he puts Brandon Cook's name on the back of his jersey and he's 6 foot tall. But all I know is that the man produces. And I believe he could have helped because he gives you that deep threat. Now you have CD that can really work the intermediate, because CD ain't get deep, Skip. I hate to break it to you, but he ain't unless he go in the water, that's the only time he getting deep.
Remember that hard knock scene at training camp when Dak was hurt, standing on the sidelines, and he watched CD run a go route? He says he just gets by you easily.
How many times you seen him run a go route that's not in hard knocks? I don't know about no hard knocks.
I remember a game at New England last year, a walk-off throw by Dak Prescott.
That was an over route. Stop it.
But it was pretty deep.
You know
it was. He ran by somebody.
Look, do I believe they should have made a deal? Yeah. You see contenders. The teams that really think they're contenders, Skip, this was the most active trade deadline that I can remember. And my years in the league, coming in the league in 90 and covering the league, I've never seen teams this active at the trade deadline like we saw this year. Teams are gearing up. We're going to talk about that a little later, Skip. But I believe they should have made a move. I mean, Jerry, Skip, he just said if there's a move out there, I believe that get us to where we need to be. I'm going to do it. Man, Jerry ain't going to do nothing. Jerry just talking. Just say, ooh, you heard what Jerry said? Jerry said he going to do anything, baby. Ooh, y'all did nothing. Talking loud, said nothing.
Well, once upon a time back in 2018 at the trade deadline, he did go get Amari Cooper. You love Amari Cooper, right? And he did change Dak's life, and he got Dak paid, but it lasted only for half a season down the stretch of 2018, and Dak did manage to win his one and only playoff game at home against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Okay, so that happened, and then Amari started to disappear on the road in 2019, and then it looked like Washington was going to pay him, and Jerry crumbled and gave in and caved and paid him $20 million a year.
What about when Cooper Rush was in Minnesota? Who caught the game-winning touchdown? Who went up 100-yard receiving? Was that Amari? Was that in Dallas or was that in Minnesota?
Amari did catch, with 50 seconds left in the game, a touchdown pass thrown by, would you believe, Cooper Rush on Sunday Night Football beat Kirk Cousins and the Vikings at Minnesota with a clutch late touchdown pass, albeit to Amari Cooper. I give you that. Now, back to Brandon Cooks. I did not lose 1 second of sleep last night. I didn't sleep very long, but when I did go to sleep, I stayed asleep for my 4.5 hours last night because I'm not going to miss Brandon Cooks, and I'm not going to let anybody that I know in Cowboy Nation conclude, leap off the cliff that our season just got lost last night at the trade deadline.
But here's the thing, Skip. I don't believe that the Eagles would have fell off a cliff if they don't sign Robert Quinn. I don't believe but you try to okay, we're in a position. You try to add to even strengthen it.
Okay. I'm going to give you 1 point. If you add somebody at the trade deadline, anybody of impact and value who can live up to his billing when he gets there, if he can actually contribute down the stretch, it does send a strong message to the locker room from the owner on down, the GM on down. We are here to go for it. We're going to do everything in our power to maximize our chances of winning this year's championship. So no message got sent. Obviously, they went and got Jonathan Hankins, and I still say it was a sweet little big move because he played about 30% of the snaps the other day, had 3 solo tackles. He is a run stuffer and stopper. And as he
can't tell.
Okay, just wait until he starts playing 75% of the snaps. I think he will start to shore up a leaky run defense.
Are you sure he can play? Well, man, that size, what's the likelihood of him playing 75% of the snaps?
Well, we'll see about that. But I think we're heading in that direction, and they just let him get his toe in the water on Sunday. And let's see what starts to happen from there on, because they just gave up 240 yards to the Bears.
But I thought he was there to shore up the run defense.
Well, he will. You got to give him time to figure out the system and know what it's all about. He will be a big little move for my team, and it was just what the doctor ordered for that team at that moment.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so here's my problem with Brandon Cooks. Okay, so I'm looking here, and I'm looking harder and harder at what I see right here, right now. He's going on 30 years of age, but wait a second. Pro Football Focus ranks him now, grades him the 61st best receiver in Pro. 61st? Well, CD's all the way up at 14th because that's where he belongs. And by the way, on Sunday, I saw a reconnection. I saw a rebirth of Dak to CeeDee Lamb that I love because it should have happened a long time ago. But I think that Dak forced to watch what Cooper Rush was doing. I think he said, you know what, I got to start buttering my bread with the guy I should be throwing more balls to. And now that Amari's gone, I got to reestablish rapport with 88. And he started throwing it to 88 the way you should go ahead and force balls to 88. He forced one over the middle that he shouldn't have, and Eddie Jackson took it.
Why didn't they force it to him when he was playing in Cleveland? When Slay and Bradbury had him locked up? Force it then. You playing the Chicago Bears. Who are the Bears? The Bears have already given up on the season. They just traded their 2 best players on the defense.
Okay, that's why I'm not overreacting to Dak's big day, his 94 QBR.
But you overreact to CD's big day.
Okay, I just like what I saw. I like the look of Dak saying, you know what, I'm going to throw it to that guy because that guy is really good. And all of a sudden, it started to look like a top 5 kind of connection between 4 and 88.
Skip, you do realize if you're not going to overreact to Dak, who's throwing the ball, you can't overreact to CD.
Okay, I just liked what I saw. And I loved what I saw from Noah Brown with Cooper Rush. And I would love to see Dak start to feature Noah Brown more because he can make circus catches, highlight catches. You saw it again and again with Cooper Rush because they have a scout team connection, obviously. And even Noah Brown is ranked, he's graded right now the 45th best receiver. Again, Brandon Cooks 61st.
So in other words, you're telling me Noah Brown is. So in other words, you're telling me
I'm good with Noah Brown. I'm just good.
So he's better than Brandon Cooks.
I'm good to go. Okay. And by the way, Michael Gallup has already moved up to 66th on this list, to 61st for Brandon Cooks. So he'll continue to rise up.
But my thing is,
I just don't know. I'm not sure.
What are you grading a receiver on? I mean, I just
productivity. Play after play. You just put them in and you grade play after play.
Look at Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
I mean, what play? He got 135 yards.
He just got back.
He got 135.
He had off-season ACL reconstruction.
That's my point.
Okay, no, it's my point that he's getting better and better. I saw a burst from Michael Gallup the other day. I said, there he is.
You saw a
Thank
catch.
you.
Noah Brown, stop it.
No, I'm starting it. And by the way, We love our tight ends, and we are 3 tight end set heavy, at least 2 at a time, but sometimes 3 at a time, and they love those 2 kids, and you're starting to like them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dalton Schultz is back to life with Dak back in the
I don't have any
saddle.
problem with them running 13 personnel.
Okay.
But the Cowboys, you say CD is 14th, Noah Brown is this ranked, and Michael Gallup is that ranked.
Yep.
The same rankings got y'all 27th in passing. Where your receivers ranked?
All
Where
right.
are your receivers? You're 27th in passing yards per game, 191.
I got my quarterback back. He's the thrower. You told me Cooper Rush can't throw. That's what you told me.
Yeah, but
all
you
he did was win games.
But you said he was just as good as Dak. That's what you told me.
All I know is he played better. He performed better. It looked better with Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush never had a game in all of his starts that looked as clean as what Dak did on Sunday.
Okay, he was playing the Chicago freaking Bears, as you keep reminding me. Stop it. You have defeated yourself before you even started.
Now,
I watched Cooper Rush win at Minnesota on a Sunday night. I watched him. Wait a second, I'm just getting started. I watched him beat last year's both of the Super Bowl teams. I watched him go to the Giants when they were red hot, Big Blue, and beat them at New York. I watched him go to Philadelphia and unravel in the second quarter, but suddenly say, no, I got this, and get him back to 20-17, give the defense a chance to win the game at Philadelphia against that team and that crowd.
If he didn't have those turnovers, but Skip, last year, you and I both know the Cincinnati Bengals and the Rams are not the same team that went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, but we thought they were at that moment.
No, you didn't.
I did on Cincinnati, which was game number 2.
And what about, hold on. But you keep telling me about Minnesota. You got little respect for Kirk Cousins. So how big of a deal is that if Kirk Cousins is the quarterback?
Kirk Cousins.
No. I'm talking about you. Don't forget what I do.
I'm not in the Hall of Fame. I'm just throwing up.
You said
you were the one who graded Kirk Cousins way up here, and so I said, well, guess who beat him last year at home?
But you got no respect for him. Now, I'm not talking about me. Yes, I know Kirk Cousins got beat.
Okay, so little known fact about Brandon Cooks, just for the record, I just wanted to throw this out. He did play in a Super Bowl with Tom Brady against those aforementioned Philadelphia Eagles. And would you believe he caught 1 ball in that game for 23 yards because on that catch early in the second quarter, he got concussed and he was gone for the rest of the game. Would you believe